Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of EIT's Virtual Open Week. My name is Tepiso, and I will be your moderator for today's session. If this is your first time, welcome to our session. The Virtual Open Week is basically a whole week where we showcase insights into the Engineering Institute of Technology, hear from our lecturers, as well as for this particular session, you'll be hearing from our lab coordinator regarding the insights into remote and virtual labs, that is, for the Engineering Institute of Technology. So firstly, the notification sounds and slide that is up in your screen is mainly to make sure that you're able to minimize any notifications coming through whilst you are attending the session. Please note you can turn them on and off as you please. You will be also able to turn them on once you are completed with the session. Now, for some common questions, as well as frequently asked questions, please note that everyone who attends the session will receive a copy of the slides as well as the video recording. These will be sent between Monday the 14th and Tuesday the 15th of April, and that is next week. And the reason why you'll be receiving these next week is because we have a whole week worth of sessions that we're currently going to be holding for you guys. So we will send the recordings when we have all the sessions combined together so that you guys are able to view them all at the same time, should you wish so, or they can be categorized so that they are there for your viewing pleasure in one place. So you are able to receive a certificate of attendance for this particular event. Please note that you'll need to complete a survey to do so. You can do this by scanning the QR code or using the link. I will be sure to share it at the end of the presentation, and you guys are more than welcome to request for your certificate of attendance. For some lucky person, all your names will be put into a draw, and one lucky person will stand a chance to get an ebook from our sister company, IDC Technologies. Should you be chosen, then you will receive an email from myself regarding the prize that you have won. Now, a little bit more about EIT. If this is your first time joining in, I did see about 2 people saying that they've never attended a session. However, this is who we are. We are an engineering specialist and we offer solely engineering programs. So we are in the niche market of engineering and we offer engineering programs. We are also offering industry-orientated programs, meaning that our programs are tailored to what is going on in the market, and we take that and implement it into our lessons. We are a world-class accredited Australian education provider, and in some instances we have qualifications that are internationally recognized under the Dublin Accord, the Sydney Accord, as well as the Washington Accord. And of course, our lecturers are industry experienced. They've worked in the engineering field and now imparting their knowledge and skills into the programs that we offer. And then lastly, we offer a unique delivery model, meaning you can study either online or on campus. However, all our courses, you can study them online. On campus, there's a select few, which are HE courses, higher education programs, bachelor's, master's, as well as the Doctor of Engineering. Those courses you'll be able to study on campus in one of our campuses, either in Melbourne, Brisbane, or in Perth, which is our head office as well. Okay, so today's session is going to be insights into EIT's remote and virtual labs, and it is going to be presented to you by Dr. Harisinh, and he is EIT's laboratory coordinator. He will be taking you along on the session. If you have any questions regarding the presentation or any questions regarding the Engineering Institute of Technology, please make sure to put them in either the chat box or the Q&A section, and we'll be happy to assist with any questions you might have. We will also have a post session Q&A should there be any questions from you guys. That is it from me for this portion of the session. I will hand over to Harisinh and he will take you along his presentation. Thank you so much. Harisinh, welcome. You may go ahead.
Thank you. So hope you can hear me now, right? So
yes, I can. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you. So Coming to the agenda, before the agenda, I just want to say thank you very much for attending this presentation, right? And um, as you know that we are engineering instead of technology, and engineering is not complete without having the practical experience, and that is how we have developed multiple means of providing you practical experience if you are studying online, if you are studying on campus, and that's how we developed our laboratories of remote labs, virtual labs. We have hands-on workshop as well, and if you are studying online with on campus with us and even online, you can have work integrated learning component that you need to finish. So that is all the combinations of the laboratory and practical side of engineering course, right? So coming back to the agenda now, um, first of all, and again, I'm welcoming you and introducing myself. So I'm Harisinh Parmar, basically a chemical engineer and work in industries for 7, 8 years, and then joined EIT as a lab coordinator and academic lecturer. Um, about EIT, you know from the previous presenter that we are engineering academia specialist, and we are working in a niche market of different engineering courses. We are providing courses starting from certificate courses, which is a 3 months long, to a DEng, which is Doctor of Engineering. So we have whole ranges of courses for civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and industrial automation. Right, so let's move to the next page, next slide. So that is my introduction. Um, as I mentioned that I just worked in industry and then joined the EIT. Now, in terms of remote lab, um, you will have different types of experience in the remote lab. And remote lab is basically two different remote and virtual labs, right? So remote labs and virtual labs are depending on softwares. Softwares are used by industries, and you can control some of the hardware through remote lab as well. And I will go through the presentation of both the examples with you guys. Now, in order to run the remote lab throughout the different campuses, we have the platform called Electromeet. And we have remote lab set up in different parts of the world in order to cater the different students around the world. So we have remote lab in Western Australia. We have remote lab in South Africa as well, Johannesburg, and we have remote lab in UK. So that three remote labs are connected through internet via Electromeet platform. And that Electromeet platform is connected to our lab server. So following this particular loop, you can be able to connect to the remote lab, or you can use any software, or you can control any hardware. Right. So now what is the new with these remote and virtual labs? So you can see that in order to use the traditional lab, you have to be physically present, right? But by using this remote lab, you can operate in real time. So that is the advantage. It will be giving you the accurate representation of the current industry trend, and we are using the software which use in industry currently. So you can know those software, you can be able to know those tools and concept behind it, and you can work with those software within the industry as well. As I mentioned previously, that you can interfacing to the equipment via digital twin or data-driven mode of the concept. We have multiple remote labs. We don't have a single remote labs and you need to wait for one person to finish that assessment or the experiment, and then you can do another one, and then you have a big queue behind you and in front of you as well. Okay, so that's not the possibility here because we have multiple remote labs. So when you go to the remote lab or Electromeet platform, you can be able to see one software is available on multiple remote labs, and you can book the time and use that software according to your time zone. We have different testing environment as well, not only the software. And as you have heard so far, that will give us a flexibility of geographical barriers, right? Our remote labs are connected to high-speed internet, so it will be giving you a required bandwidth as well. So let me give you a small introduction of our remote lab Electromeet platform and how you can connect to this platform. Okay, so once you study with EIT, you can have your Moodle login, which is your Learning Management System login, LMS login. And on the LMS page, you can have this particular site home button. While you go to site home button, and that is where we have a remote lab shortcut available for all the students. Okay, if you click on it, it will direct you to the Access Lab, and then you will be going through the Electromeet platform. Now, if you see that Electromeet platform, you will have multiple remote labs here. Okay, we have somewhere around 30-40 remote labs, and you need to search in the search bar that which software you like to use. For example, you like to use MATLAB or you like to use SolidWorks or ANSYS. You can search on it, the search button, and then you will have all the remote labs with availability of the MATLAB or availability of the SolidWorks or Inventor or any other software that you like to use. According to the availability of that particular remote labs, you can book the time and use the remote lab. So you will see that here, one student has booked the time, and that time is shown as a green slot or green window. At that time, you can be able to use the remote lab. You can be able to book the time in advance as well. So even you can book the time for next few days. Obviously, the slot time is only available for a few hours for per student. So in order to avoid the single booking, so student can book only 4 slots in maximum, but I think 4 slots can be enough. And even if you finish those 4 slots, you can be able to book it again, right? So that is how you can book the remote lab. Once the remote lab is booked, you can see this green window underneath your screen, and you can click on this computer button to access the remote lab. And once you access the remote lab, you feel like the software is in your screen, on your screen, and you can open the software, work with the software, do the simulation, do your assessment, do the practice or training session, and you can be able to learn new things about that particular software. Right, so that is how our Electromeet platform is working seamlessly around the world. As I mentioned that we have remote labs around the world, so the bandwidth might not be an issue. You can be able to use the remote lab in your region and can be able to use the particular software. Okay, so that is the Electromeet platform. Now let me give you a bit of example on difference between the traditional and interactive learning experience, right? So we are going on interactive learning experience because traditional experience is the one where you are physically available to learn with hands-on experience, right? So traditional experience, we provide traditional experience to our on-campus students. They can also be able to get advantage of our interactive learning experience. Now, traditional learning experience will look like this. You can see that our students are working in the laboratory or outdoor environment in terms of working with the concrete. They are doing the slump test, they are doing some kind of surveying measurement, and this is where they are working on the wood lathe, right? So different types of traditional learning experience you can um, explore with our on-campus programs. Now, let's say if you choose to study online, so and you want to get the similar type of experience. So we have three different modes of working with this interactive online mode of experience, and that is mimicking the behavior of working as a physical hands-on. The first one is called H5P. So in H5P, we record the video of the traditional experiment run and then convert that into the interactive experiment. So that is basically, it's not only just recording the video like YouTube video, but we are trying to put a lot more interactions so you can be able to learn with that particular experience, and that is called H5P. So let me give you an example of that particular H5P experience, and you will see that that particular H5P experience of hydraulic circuit experiment. Okay, so we have performed that particular hydraulic circuit experiment in real time. We have taken the video. Now there is a time to put a lot more interactions and break down that particular video into um, H5P type of experience, which is interactive experience. Okay, so what we have done, let's say we have taken the video of entire hydraulic circuit experiment. Now there is a time to break down that particular 20, 22 minutes or 30 minutes video into small sections. Okay, and that sections we have put in this particular manner. You can see that we have started with aim and concept. So we are trying to, before we do the experiment, obviously you need to know the objective behind the experiment and the concept behind that particular hydraulic circuit experiment, right? Now, we are making sure that once you read the aim and objective of that particular experiment, we will ask you a few questions as a MCQ 1. And that's where you are exposed to the information, and we are trying to measure your knowledge about hydraulic circuit experiment plus whatever you have understand and read about aim and basic concept behind the hydraulic circuit, right? So that is the first interaction we have inserted in H5P. So we have asked you MCQ. Once you finish those MCQ or the quiz, then you can go ahead in the another type of MCQ. It's called fill in the blanks, and then true false type of questions. So we are trying to mix and match different types of MCQ, and that will test your knowledge before you go to these real experimental videos. So once you finish these MCQs, then you can go to real videos. So here you can see the student to read and complete the quiz related to theory, and we can monitor the progress via checklist. So we can be able to monitor your progress, right? It's not something that you just attend the MCQ and forget. We can monitor your progress. You have to finish those all MCQ in order to move ahead in this hierarchy. So now you have different videos given to you. Even within the video will stop, pause in between, and ask you a few questions about the video. Right? So this is how we are putting interaction within the video as well as after or before the video as well. Now that video is edited in a way that is zoom in and out, and it will give you all the name of different parts and components within the video. So you can be able to see, you can be able to monitor and watch that what that particular component called. You can see the pressure gauge, velocity gauge, all the gauge. You can measure those values as well. Once you watch the video, we will ask you to create the entire hydraulic circuit in the fluid sim or any other software, by the way, right? Not the fluid sim only. Fluid sim is one of the example that we have tried with, but you can be able to create that particular hydraulic circuit with different tool. And that is how you can finish different types of assessment and submit the entire package with the final task submission. And that is how you can see that starting from the beginning, that you have started with aim and basic concept, performed the experiment, done the MCQ, and then created the circuit, the entire hydraulic circuit in the fluid sim, answer few question in the assessment and submit, right? So this will mimic the physical experience of performing the hydraulic circuit experiment. Is it? Right? So basically, this is how we are using H5P type of technology to convert the physical experiment into interactive type of experiment. You will see different slides now about that particular experiment, and you will see that you can measure um, different gauge through, and it's already given here 0.8 MPa. And by doing this type of experiment, you can be able to learn, even though you are not physically present, you can be able to learn everything about hydraulic circuit interactive exercise. Okay. And also can be able to learn about new software, FluidSync, or any other software, right? So this is one way of converting traditional experience and providing the similar experience via using H5P. Okay, the next way of doing is the simulated experiment. Some of the experiment cannot be run and recorded and converted into the interactive experiment, right? So we have created a simulated environment using Unity software, and that's where you can be able to see that, okay, you can be able to perform all these steps and perform the entire procedures like you are doing in a real time or on site, right? The good example of simulation type of interactive experiment is electrical isolation procedures that we use frequently with our industry partners like Rolls-Royce and Rio Tinto. So what basically we do is that we are giving them this particular simulated environment and ask them to perform the electrical isolation procedures, and they can go stepwise to select the equipment that they will need in order to run these isolation procedures. They need to select 10 items before they depart for the isolation work. Once they select the correct equipment, then only they can go ahead and open the cabinet to start, and then they can switch off the isolators and flip the circuit breaker. They can select the again appropriate tool to test the circuit is there and so on. So basically, this is also a very good example of simulated environment of doing electrical isolation procedures without you being on site with this type of Unity simulated experiment. We have another example of that particular simulated experiment is called virtual field operator, VFO. Now this particular VFO is a plant walkthrough type of simulated environment where you can do all these operations with this particular equipment, and then once you do this all data change, any parameter change, you can get the data, and then after you can go to virtual field operator and you can see yourself standing in front of that particular equipment or wall or distillation column or heat exchanger and measuring or observing the similar data where you have done here, right? So that is the, again, a simulated environment of the site, and we use different tool called virtual field operator, and you can see um, in front of you an equipment with different data, right? So this is also a second one that we are using in order to mimic the similar behavior what we are doing with the traditional experience or site visit, I can say, right? The third one is very intuitive, by the way, and that is a state-of-the-art type of um, thing that we have done at EIT. And here, what we have done, that we have converted a real experiment, and you can be able to operate that particular equipment with a button, switch off the button in your computer. And you don't need to be right in front of the equipment. Okay, so that is called converting the traditional experiment into remotely operated experiment with webcams and real-time experience. So that is a very good example, and I want to share my screen here, and I will show you a few videos in order to explain that how that particular um, system works. So we have a production line training system, which is mimicking the production line behavior of manufacturing a simple part or any other complex part, by the way, and you will see a different robotic arm workings or in synchronization to finish the entire chain of events, right? So let me share my screen and I will show you this particular video. I'm not sure, I'm not sure you can hear the voice of this video or not.
We can just see the presentation, Dr. Harrison. We cannot hear any audio. I'm not sure if the audio has come yet, but the
Okay.
presentation is playing, however, no audio.
If you don't hear the audio, no issue. I will explain it to you. So you can see different stations there will be using this technology, and you can see this entire thing with the remote. You can see the camera as well. So with the camera, you can see the entire process with the click of the button. In the next video, I'll show you how we can operate remotely. But this is the production line training system. I'll stop the video to explain to you the process. So we have 9 different stations, and station 1 to station 9, it will collect that particular part, put the small part into it, and mimicking the different process in the production line, and try to store in the warehouse at station, last station I mean. And we have created the ladder logic program, and then we have created the HMI that will come in the next video. But this is what the ladder logic programs with the Siemens TIA portal. So you can watch the remaining video and then we can go to the next one. So now we can see that Siemens TIA portal is open in one of the computer which is connected to our Electromeet platform, and the student can be able to manage and start operate this entire production line training system. So you can see now that once it's click on modified one, and the system is running from remote lab. And you can see all this entire process with 4 or 5 different cameras. You can see that first camera is showing you the loading and handling, second is showing you the processing and detection, third is transport and storing, fourth is assembly, and fifth is sorting or storing in the warehouse. Basically, this particular production line training system will give you the real-time or very good experience of production line, which you can work with the industry and learn it as well. Okay, so now next video will tell you about how we can create the HMI, the human machine interface. And you can see that we have created this HMI. So basically you can be able to select different parameters and then run off the play button and it will start working with it. So you can see that you can go for match color, invert color, always black and white. You can select the number of loop that you want to run. We have selected maximum 3 loop because we don't want our student to work or don't want our equipment to work continuously. So maximum 3 loops is more than enough for someone to understand the entire process. And then you can select few more options before you start this particular experiment. We are deliberately putting some kind of troubleshooting in the ladder logic in order to give you some kind of challenge, and that's where your learning will come from, right? And then now we will see that once you start the play button, once you select the criteria of inverting and matching color, you select the play button, and then it will start working. So that particular computer is available on our Electromeet platform remote lab, and that is how you can connect to this particular PLC, production line training system. Okay, so let me go back to our presentation again. How do we share the presentation back? We need to share our presentation again. So let me ask our.
No problem, Harrison, doing so now.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, any particular slide you'd like to be on?
Well, I'll go with it, no issues. So let me take the control and I'll go with the particular slide that I want to show now. So hopefully you have enjoyed this particular way of working with. So coming back to this slide now, the very first slide, by the way. Yep. So you have noticed all three different types of ways where we can convert our H5P. We have done some simulated experiment of electrical isolation, and we have seen this production line training system. So this is very good different ways of mimicking the traditional experience. Okay, we have few more examples, like you can see that's particular VFD motors controlling PLC via remote lab. So this is the similar example that we have seen just now, and you can be able to control this motor control via VFD and this remote lab as well. One more example of pole squirrel cage induction motor. This is kind of simulated environment, and you can be able to manage this particular motor, measuring the phase voltage and current as well, right? So this is all about our remote and virtual labs. Now moving on to the physical side of the things. So if you are even online or on-campus students, as a requirement to finish the entire course, you need to go with hands-on workshop and work integrated learning. You can apply for RPL if you have appropriate experience. However, hands-on workshop and work integrated learning is the basic requirement of a mandatory requirement of this course. And we are running these 4 workshops every 6 months at our Perth and South Africa campus. So first workshop is about measurement science workshop, common for all disciplines, civil, electrical, industrial automation, and mechanical engineers. Second workshop is the second week, and second week we have 2 different workshop running. For power and control workshop is for electrical and IA, and mechanics and assembly workshop for civil and mechanical students. Week 3, we are running 3 different workshops, one for civil, one for electrical and IA, and one for mechanical. And the fourth one, we have different webinars on professional practice types of workshop. So basically, even if you are studying online, you have opportunity to go through 4 different weeks and 4 different workshops that you can learn different hands-on experience. And you know that why this experience is more important about your personal development. As I mentioned, very first thing that engineering is not complete without hands-on experience. You can have real working environment experience and you can enhance your CV with this kind of experience as well, right? So this is the zero credit unit, but a mandatory requirement to finish all the different workshops and the professional experience, 240 hours of work integrated learning experience. Okay, now I'm giving back to Sipo and then she will go through the remaining slide about studying with EIT. Thank you very much for your attention so far.
No problem. Thank you so much, Harrison. We really do appreciate you presenting the session for us. There is a question from Callisto while I am still bringing up the slide. He wants to know, will it be possible to have workshops available in Fiji? However, I do believe you can tell him another way or means of him getting that work experience should he wish to do so.
So in terms of Fiji, Fiji is near to Australia, Western Australia, by the way, and even Melbourne or Sydney. So we currently don't have any workshop is available in Sydney, but depending on your experience, you can apply for RPL, recognition of prior learning. Even if you don't want to apply for RPL, you can come to our Perth campus and that will be a good opportunity to visit the campus as well as Australia as well, and then you can finish the workshop within 3 weeks of time, 3 to 4 weeks of time, by the way.
Thank you so much, Harrison. I hope that answers your question, Callisto. Of course, if you are not able to make it to the site workshops, you are able to actually go to whichever company that you're able to and get that work integrated learning, about 240 hours that is required, and you are more than welcome to do so. All you need to do is provide us with proof, of course. However, the HE team is able to elaborate on that. They will be helpful in you getting that information, especially if you are looking to meet that work integrated learning experience for your qualification. Now, in terms of EIT's programs and lifelong learning journey, please note that our qualifications start from a professional certificate all the way to a Doctor of Engineering, which is the highest level you can get academically. So we have a professional certificate. It's a 3-month short course that is available on our website. It's 3 months long and you can do it online. All our professional certificates are 100% online. For some professional certificates, if you complete them, you are able to get RPL, the module that is the professional certificate rather that you are studying can actually be a module into a bachelor's program. However, not all of them, and it does not form as into the bachelor's program. It is a module or unit that can be RP out, provided you've completed it with the Engineering Institute of Technology. We also have diploma programs. We have a diploma in leadership and management, and it is a 12-month program, and you're also able to study this program online. We also have an advanced diploma in leadership and management as well available for you to study. And then we get to advanced diplomas, which are 18 months courses in several engineering programs. They're 18 months courses. The entry requirements are that you have a minimum 2 years working experience, as well as have completed your high school or have certificates or certifications in the engineering field. However, because the Engineering Institute of Technology services over 160 countries, please be aware that we would need to evaluate your level of experience as well as your level of education. As such, applications are based on a case-to-case basis. No one application can be the same. Therefore, we would encourage you to apply and wait to hear from the VET team. They will assess your applications and provide you with feedback as to whether you meet entry or not into that program. We also have undergraduate certificates, and those are 6 months. They form part of the HE programs. And should you complete a higher an undergraduate certificate program. Those units also constitute to our Bachelors of Science programs. And then we do have our bachelor's courses, which is the bachelor's in electrical, industrial automation, civil and structural engineering, as well as mechanical engineering. We also have graduate certificates, graduate diplomas, the master's, and then finally the Doctor of Engineering. So we offer you all the streams from a level 5, level 6, up to a level 10 that you are able to study at the Engineering Institute of Technology. If you are interested in enrolling, I will provide you with all the contact details as well as a link to book a call with our course advisor. They will be happy to assist you with any questions you might have regarding enrolling at EIT. Now, our delivery methods. So as I've mentioned in the beginning, our courses, you can study them either online or on campus. So all our programs are available online, regardless of whether you are, wherever you are rather. And these programs can be studied. All you'd need is a solid internet connection as well as a computer that is able to meet the specs in order for you to be able to actually use things such as remote and virtual labs, because you would need to be able to use these various softwares. We actually do provide you with the specs that you need for the equipment in order to study, and then software the Engineering Institute of Technology provides for you guys. And as I've mentioned, all our programs can be studied 100% online, and then the programs that are available on campus, that being the Bachelors of Science, Masters of Engineering, as well as the Doctor of Engineering, are available on campus. You can either study in Perth, Brisbane, as well as Melbourne. However, in order to apply on campus, you would need to make use of an educational agent. Again, if this is what you would need, if this is something that you want to do, study on campus, we will happily provide you with the details in order for you to do so. And the course advisors will be happy to assist you with all the questions you might have regarding this. Okay, we've gone over the delivery method as well. So let me just tell you a little bit more about how we deliver our programs. So we have normally 2 classes that run on the day lecturers run. One is in the morning and then another one later on in the evening. You can attend whichever one you prefer. However, should you miss a lecture, a live lecture that is, you have an opportunity to watch a recording and then complete a summary. You submit that to your learning support officer, and that will constitute as you attending the program. It's very important though to attend the live sessions, because you get to ask your questions and again interact with students who are within the same program as yourself. However, we do understand that we cater to people who are working in the field, and sometimes time commitments are something that they need to work on. So you do have the option of also watching the recordings. Every lecture that takes place is recorded and is readily available on Moodle, and that is your learning management portal that we do have at EIT. Okay, and then lastly, the certificates of attendance. Please note that you can get a certificate of attendance either by scanning the QR code or using the link that is up on your screen. For your easy reference, I'll be sure to leave the link in the chat box once the presentation has concluded. Please note you'll receive the certificates between the 14th to the 15th of April. Reason being, we have sessions throughout the week and we'll only be able to send those certificates next week. Everyone who's registered on the link or on the QR code will receive the certificate of attendance from the EIT marketing team. And one lucky winner will stand a chance. All of you actually will stand a chance to win a prize. However, one person will only win the prize, and that will be chosen in the weeks to follow. Okay, the Q&A. I do see there are a couple of questions that I will answer. Someone is asking me, yes, it's Charles, do I also have to do 3 years bachelor's when I hold an advanced diploma from EIT? So Charles, depending on which program you're moving into, you may receive credits. This is information that is readily available. If you are looking to transition into a bachelor's degree, please book a call to speak to a course advisor. Additionally, you can also speak to your learning support officer, as the bachelor's degrees are a part, as the advanced diplomas rather are a pathway into the bachelor's degrees, you will certainly hear from the team, and they will be assisting you in order to move from the advanced diploma onto the bachelor's degree. And then Pandio, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Simeon, was asking if they'll be able to assist with providing recommendations for us to apply for work, for WIL at your campus. Okay, so that is something that you can contact the HE support for, because work integrated learning is for a higher education department. So I would encourage you to reach out to the HE team. They will most certainly be happy to assist you with how to approach your employer, as well as provide you with some recommendations. If you are already enrolled, then you would know that you can reach out to the HE team, and they will be happy to assist you with the information you might need. Okay, and then Tiralo is asking advanced diploma in biomedical engineering. Tiralo, you can apply for either the bachelor's or the bachelor's in electrical, the bachelor's in industrial automation engineering. So again, it's a matter of you speaking to one of our course advisors. Of course, they will provide you with concrete information as to how to go about the process. However, you can most certainly apply for the bachelor's, as our advanced diplomas are pathways and will provide you with entry into the bachelor's degree. The modules will differ, and mainly because if you're moving from electrical engineering and you're moving on to civil engineering, it might be quite different, but they will assist you with that. I do believe those are the questions that I have, Harrison. I don't see anything from your end. Okay, Isaiah is asking about scholarships. I have provided you with the link to a scholarships page. Please note we offer partial scholarships, and they're based on academic merit as well as availability. You guys are more than welcome to actually visit the website, and all the information that you need is there. The last thing I'm going to do is provide you with all the relevant links, including the links to the certificate of attendance, and then you guys are more than welcome to utilize it in order for you guys to request for your certificates of attendance that will come in the following week. How many recognized certificates, Uli? I can't advise. We've actually just gone through Engineers Australia accreditation, and we have some fabulous news for you guys. Keep a lookout on our website, and the ones that we have are readily available in the EIT website. I will share the accreditation page right here once I am done answering the questions, and you can go through them and see which programs are internationally recognized under the Dublin, Sydney, or Washington Accord. I do believe that is it for the questions that I have for the session. Atta? Yes, scholarships are available for all the countries. Atta is asking if he can apply for the diploma. You can apply for the diploma if you meet entry. Okay, I'm taking the last question, please. That's the last question I'll be taking from Bongani. And yes, if you've already enrolled and paid for May intake, can you please let me know how can I expect to gain access? Okay, that is great. So Calvin, how EIT works is that once you have been enrolled and your learning has not commenced, you will only receive entry or access into the program within the week of the program starting, or maybe the day before or the day of. Reason being, we do not provide prior access into the program. So you'll receive your login details before orientation week, and then you'll go through an orientation session where the learning support officer shows you how to use our learning management portal, and then you will start your studies. So you do not get any login details prior to the program starting. So you will receive your login details closer to May, and you will be able to start your program then. As I've mentioned, the certificate of attendance will be made available. The link as well as the QR code will be provided to you guys. And I have already shared the link to the scholarship. Sarah, could you please read through the chat box? The information is there. is a level 6. Do you apply for evaluation with SAQA? Hi, Bongani. If you have completed a program at EIT, please note that once you have actually received your completion certificate, you actually get a letter to SAQA that EIT provides so that they're able to recognize your program. Please note that the Engineering Institute of Technology is recognized by SAQA, and they will be happy to assist you with information regarding its accreditation. I would also say you're more than welcome to call them and find out about EIT. It's always best to do your own research so that you make concrete decisions regarding your studies. But you are more than welcome to give them a call and they will be able to assist you with that question. Lastly, Callisto, yes, we do use Moodle and you will be able to use it. Moodle and Blackboard, those are the platforms that we use, and then you are more than welcome to utilize them if you are a student of the Engineering Institute of Technology. I do believe that is it. Okay, did Harrison mention that we can have access to remote labs? So for this presentation particularly, yes, you will be able to access it on YouTube. It will be there within the next 24 hours. And no, the videos that are on YouTube, we do not charge any fees, no memberships for that. They're readily and easily available for you guys to use and rewatch as you please. If you are an enrolled student and you want to use remote labs, then for sure you would use it within your login details for EIT. So no fees regarding that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave all the links in order for you guys to contact us. We are really on time and I would have to let you go, guys. Harrison, thank you so much for joining us today, or rather for presenting the session. Thank you so much for everyone who attended. I really do hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you for your attendance today. I will leave all the available links in the chat box for you guys. So please, I'm gonna leave the session. I'm not gonna leave the session as of yet. I'm going to send you the links before I leave the session, and then you guys can utilize them and contact us regarding any questions you might have or any information you might need from EIT. That is it for my portion of this webinar. Thank you to attendees. Thank you so much, Harrison, and have a lovely day. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, everyone.